The Black Fat Film Podcast is a production of iHeartRadio and Dr. John Paul, LLC. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Black Fat Film Podcast where all the intersections of identity are celebrated. I'm one of your hosts, John, also known as Dr. John Paul. And am I the only one who seems to not be able to find an onion bagel to save my life? I know it's random, but I was just saying how it's been a minute since I've had a good onion bagel. Everything bagels, they're just messy. They don't always do it for you. I don't know. Onion bagels are the best bagels in my opinion. And I was asking my partner if he could buy me one, and he said that the store don't have them no more. So I just was like, I wonder why. That's a good question to start the show out with. What is your favorite kind of bagel, Joho? Why do you have the giggles?
It's just we're just silly. We're just silly.
We really are. It has been a long. I mean, we're recording early this week, but it has been a long week, and so I've been very. I've been up all day. I've been up since like literally 6 this morning. So, yeah. But what is your favorite kind of bagel?
Yeah. I was just so silly. You just made me laugh. You just made me laugh. Like you just made me laugh.
I don't know. I don't even know what kind of. Are you even a breakfast girly?
Okay. I'm screaming.
Why don't I know this?
Yeah, okay.
It
is your girl Jordan, aka Breakfast Bitch Joho.
Okay.
It's giving hashtag the more you know with the little rainbow
Yes.
thing. Yes, I am a breakfast girly. Down
Okay.
boots. I can have breakfast anytime of the day, any day of the week. If I could fuck up an omelet every day and not worry about cholesterol levels, girl, I
Facts.
would. Okay.
Real facts.
I love all breakfast stuff. I love me all omelets. I love me Denver omelet, garden omelet, French omelet, scrambled omelet. Like not scrambled omelet, but I love everything. I especially love a breakfast sandwich or a bagel breakfast sandwich. I am.
Yes.
And everything bagel girly or jalapeno cheddar. Those two are just superior to me.
Okay.
With some veggie cream cheese.
Okay,
some
that's too
capers,
much.
some capers, some smoked salmon, some cucumbers, and some onions. Girl, how you doing? But if we're talking like breakfast, like brekkie, eggs, cheese, caramelized onions, lettuce. Throw on some bacon. Throw on some bacon if you're nasty. Make some mock bacon if you're not doing the pork.
Okay.
Shit gets me going every time. There's this bagel place by me that I order from like once a week because they always do like a bagel of the month, and they always like a cream cheese of the month. But this shit is,
how you doing?
How you doing? This shit is stacked. I get every week without fail,
I don't need nobody to play with my cream cheese. When I say I want cream cheese,
I want
I
want that shit. I want this to be sticky as fuck. I want it to be like I want to touch it and be like, oh, bitch, she's oozing all over me. Like
all
a little cream cheese pie in my bagel, girl. Yes.
Can I also ask, since we're here, because I know some people don't like accoutrements with their things. So are you a mayo girly too? Mayo sour cream?
Yes.
Oh, I found my girl.
I love all the cream. The more mayo, the better. Sometimes when I see mayo, I was putting, I'm like, this shit looks disgusting.
Yeah, but it's tasty.
You put it on a slice of bread, girl, on a sandwich.
Yes,
with my chicken salad, my tuna salad, girl.
Are you a sandwich spread girly? Did you ever do sandwich spread?
Oh yes, with the relish. Okay, so
yes,
I used to hate relish by itself.
Okay,
but I love sandwich spread, but now I love relish by it. And I actually love pickles. I used to hate pickles, and I love pickles, sliced or fried pickles. How you doing?
Okay, so you lost me there. That ain't for me. That ain't for me. One thing I won't be doing is eating nobody's pickles. Because one thing I will do is I see them and I politely just move them to the side. Like,
so you eat relish, but not pickles.
Yep.
Okay.
Like I love tomato sauce, but I hate tomatoes.
That's fair. Period. No, you're right. Period. You're right. You're right.
I don't want that. But yes. Anyway, we are way off the beaten path. So let me bring it back. So today's episode, I am playing Miss Sita. Those of you who are old enough, you catch and you know the reference. But with that being said, we are going to give Miss Tisha Campbell her flowers this week in our Still Here segment. And this week, although we started the show talking about all of our favorite foods and all of the things that we enjoy in terms of breakfast, this entire episode, we're kind of in our tech bag, which we haven't really been in. So we're going to start off the show by asking the question, how has technology really benefited you? And what I mean is, I know we love a good cellular device, right? I love my Apple products, right? And we love a good social media situation. The Instagrams, and we tell y'all to visit us on the Blue Skies and come on down to the show and leave us your comments and things. You send us a good email, right? Your AOL, you've got mail, right? Like you send us those things here and there. But we haven't really talked about how tech has impacted us. And so, what I do want to say is this: I think the thing I absolutely love and adore about technology, outside of all of the other BS around it, I know for me, it's the parasocial
Mm.
friends that become your real friends for me. So,
Mhm,
like,
mhm.
I met Travell Anderson online before they became my friend. I have two of our listeners. It was funny because I actually had I had dinner with them the other day, and they were talking
Mm.
about the show. But Kyle and Jarrett, shout out to them, they're faithful listeners to the show. They literally, we met on Twitter, and so it became a thing of, we were going back and forth. And then one day I was like, oh, I'm gonna be in San Fran, and they were like, can we take you to dinner? And I was like, this is weird, but sure, they seem cool. And literally from that moment, it's been almost, what, 4 years now. I think we met right before the pandemic. And it's been years of us. Every time I'm up in San Fran, every time I'm near San Fran, they came up for my book talk at Berkeley. They are
Mm.
literally my sisters. And so it's really cool when, like, the parasocial becomes like the real, and you can actually be friends. And I think a lot of the friends and a lot of the close connections that I have with people, even in the industry, even, Jessica Marie Garcia, I remember tweeting her, and now that became a real friendship. So Twitter just really has given me a lot of family and a lot of really good chosen friendships. And I actually think that it's really cool that technology can do that. And so
Mm.
it was fresh on my mind, and I was thinking about that family, friends, chosen family, and how the internet and tech kind of shapes that. And I just thought it'd be really cool to talk about. But what about you?
Yeah.
How has tech impacted you?
I mean, this is definitely a really interesting question. I think for a while I was kind of ruled by tech. Like I have
Mhm,
a very tech-friendly life at present.
mhm.
There's a point where like I needed to have the newest smartphone. I have multiple gaming systems. I have the top of the line laptop to do photos and video games, and I would game online and to make videos and content and such and blah blah blah. And so like as an adult, I want tech to work with me. I want to simplify my relationship to it. I mean, in
Yeah.
terms of inventions, I'll give the Apple ecosystem this. It's solid as fuck. Like I get why
Mhm.
people stay. Like I now the blue bubble does come for all, and I do understand why. So that's like a tech thing I definitely love. I think the invention of social media is great
Mm.
for many reasons, but I don't know if I always feel as fulfilled by the parasocial relationships, especially because like right like I think to your point like the ones that become real offline are ones that are meaningful, but the parasocial by definition typically means one sided, and so like
Yeah.
I feel fulfilled by them if they evolve offline. But sometimes like I don't know, like I just don't always love them because I don't always know if those relationships like are meaningful for us or like
Right.
like
Right.
like yeah. Sometimes I definitely the person who will message someone. I'm like, ugh, I think that then I would be best friends. There's also like a healthy like relationship with reality that
Yeah.
I've had like people like never meet this person. The amount of folks,
Never meet this
but
person.
the amount of folks that sometimes like come to my messages and you're like,
Yeah.
you and I would be besties. I'm like, I
I don't know.
actually don't know. I actually don't know.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, like,
TK. It's TK.
I think we might be a little, debased from reality at present.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and
That's it.
or, like, maybe we can be, but you're just so sure based off of this one story I posted. Like, girl, I don't
Right.
know. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know, and I don't I think it's like I don't want things to feel too one-sided for anybody, for me or for them. So I think I'm just, like, super mindful of, like, how those evolve. Um I also so, but so, yeah, so I think, like, tech has been really great, and I think also tech in terms of accessibility or, like, in things or being like, in ease or convenience. Like, for example, I went to urgent care a few weeks ago, and they had taken my blood pressure, and it was, like, this new contraption that was, like, done in, like, 30 seconds. It was so quick.
Mhm.
The cuff, like, it was, like, wireless. I was like, "This is so cool." Like, gone are the days where you have to sit there for like an hour and have them like 10 minutes, like have them squeeze a little, put thing to puff up and
Right.
test you right. Like it was quick, easy. Oh, I was like, technology has gone really good to like simplify this process, right? Or like when I walk into Kaiser, my phone's like, "Welcome to Kaiser, checking your appointment." And sometimes I'm
Uh-huh.
like, "Girl, why you talking
Yeah.
to me like this?" Part of me is like, "You know what?
Same.
I love that, like, I'm here."
Yeah.
Some things I don't know if I ever get into, honestly, is ChatGPT. I
Yeah.
just I'm not in love. I understand that AI is becoming more and more a part of our everyday life, but I try not to use it unless I, like, actually have to, and I try not to use
Yeah.
it like, I don't consciously use it myself. Like, it's just as hard for me to want to use it. And
Mm.
also Waymo. Girl, no. There's no way I'm getting that damn car.
Yeah, I've seen I that's valid in the sense that I have seen people post on the clock app that they've gotten like locked in the car and couldn't get out. Did you see the video of the
Accidents.
girl who was going in circles?
People getting hit by cars, people
Yeah, well, yeah,
crashing into
that.
people, people going in circles. Yeah.
Yeah, there was the video I saw. I haven't seen anyone getting hit, but I definitely saw the video of the black lady who was stuck in the car and was going in circles in that parking lot and couldn't get out. And that
Oh,
was enough for me to say I was tempted when I was in Vegas. I downloaded
mhm.
the app and I was like, I just want to give it one go just to see if I like it. And then I guess they've pulled out of Vegas for whatever reason, which I totally understand why they've probably pulled out of Vegas, and it's probably because, like you
Girl,
said,
it's too crazy
car
there.
accidents, right? Car
Yeah.
accidents. So I haven't been in a city. I mean, I go to LA a lot, but most of the time when I'm in LA, I'm driving, so there's no need for me to call a
Mm.
Waymo. But yeah,
Yeah, it's
I feel
just
you on that.
not like they're definitely not for me. I mean, I saw one recently in my neighborhood
Not
and
for
was
me.
like, "Tech is coming. It's coming to San
She's
Diego
coming, girl.
now." Like,
Automation's
I
coming.
was like, "Oh no!" Like, what would we do? Like,
Yeah.
if it drove on my street, and I was like, "I must destroy it." Like,
Yeah.
that was like,
You see the little things all around it
yeah, that was
spinning
like,
around.
"Oh hell
'Cause
no, not on my
it literally looks like a drone, but it's like a car
on
drone.
wheels." The only
Yeah,
time
it's like
I'll
a
ever be NIMBY is if when it comes to Waymo. Like, I am never NIMBY, but that was a definitely. I was like, "Not in my backyard, girl. You're having a
absolutely.
Waymo."
You said absolutely not, girl. She won't be that is not for me. Yeah, and that's actually I'd be interested to for listeners, for any listeners who has done there. So there's Waymo and then there's another one that I forget the name of it, and I saw it, and it's like a little it's not even a go-kart. It's like a little car, and I think it has two seats, and you basically can sit and face each other, but
Oh, absolutely not.
it's also
Absolutely not.
driverless, and it
I will give
basically.
Waymo this. The car's a Jaguar, and I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I'd get in a Jag real quick."
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
that little
yeah.
thing you said, that sounds terrifying. Hell no. I
Yeah,
don't need
there's
a
a
face,
little
bitch.
I forget I literally saw it, because again, as everyone knows, I was in Vegas a couple of weeks ago doing a book talk, and I remember seeing the people promoting it, but I don't remember the name of it. But anyway, I would love to know if anybody has done the Waymo or has done anything, that does not have a driver, and what their experience was with it, because I have yet to do anything where it's like, "Oh, there's no driver in here," because I'm like,
Mm.
I'm a little, yeah, I don't know. I just, I also, I'm with you when you're right. And that's one of the things that you're actually very right about. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm
Autonomy
going
is
to do that.
great for people, not for cars.
Yeah.
Not for cars.
Yeah. But it's not me. It's not for me. Okay, y'all. Well, with that being said, now that I have convinced you to switch your green bubbles to blue, actually, Joho did. Joho has actually convinced you to do that.
Bullying, in fact, does work,
Bullying
unfortunately.
works, honey. Y'all know I'm a forever bully an Android user, honey. Just for principle. Because why would you do that to yourself? Why would you not love yourself more and get yourself an iPhone? I don't understand it. But anyway, we are gonna take a quick break, and when we get back, we're gonna hit you with the category a segment. More in a second.
Hey fam, we are back. We are black, and I am not here for the Android slander on this show. We are gonna hop into our tech bro bag today with a bit more razzle dazzle.
Yes,
Insert spirit
girl.
fingers and jazz
Shake titties,
hands.
shake titties, shake
Shake
titties.
titties. We're talking
Yes.
about this season of Black Mirror. Now we're not gonna
Mm-mm.
give any spoilers away because TBH we haven't gone through all the episodes yet, but
Right.
we've watched about half of them, and so we think it'd be good for us to sit with the ones that we have seen and ask the question to ourselves about Black Mirror, right? Because this whole season, if you're seeing a theme, is about tech. So do we
It
feel like
is.
Black Mirror is adding to the terrible feel we have around tech, or is it simply just commentary and how we use it? What do you think?
I think this is a really good question because in the past for those of you who are not huge Black Mirror folks, right? I know some folks who are like, I'm not watching Black Mirror because it's too close to home, which I get. Then I have people who are like, okay, some of this feels a little too, it's a little too sci-fi thriller for me, and I don't like that.
Mm.
Okay, I get that too, right? But I think in the previous seasons of Black Mirror, I think they were trying to caution us as to like what our lives were becoming or where we were headed around tech, right? So I think about seasons, and I might be wrong. I don't know the season verbatim, but I think about that episode with mother who had the Instagram account and she basically the swiping. Do you remember that
Like the
episode per
one
se?
where you like rate somebody
Rating, yeah,
as
the
you see.
rating episode,
Yeah, that
yeah.
shit was
I think about
wild.
that episode as being kind of the pivotal,
Yeah.
the pivotal point of the series, and basically kind of reminding us of like, y'all got to be careful about the ways that you engage technology and you engage with each other on technology. So I was like, okay, I get the premise of what the show is, but I actually think now, now that the season is back, I think now they're really saying, here we go with our imitating life, in the sense that I appreciate what the show does, because the questions, this specifically this season, the episodes that I have seen, there have been questions that lie under each episode, and there are moments where I'm like, okay, sis, like this is a little too close to home. Like the first
Yeah.
episode of the season, right? Like with the notion of ads, right? How literally everything we do, and again, I'm not giving away anything. The whole episode is based around this notion of ads, and it's based around this notion of how much we're paying for different tiers of different, like everything we do we're paying for, and it's a little annoying. And I think that the episode really kind of nods at this idea of like how much of ourselves we give away just to be able to pay for luxury. That's really what this the first episode of the season's about. So, while it's
Mm.
funny and while there's some moments in the show where I'm like, wow, this is really fucked up, like it really made me kind of look and be like, wow, like fantasy, it's out there. We're getting to this point now where everything about our life is a subscription, and
Yeah.
it's really starting in I don't know how you feel about it, but I know it's really starting to annoy me,
Girl, I mean, first of all, same, cause like, bitch, not me playing ads, bitch. Why is my
Yeah.
mouth giving an ad? And in what world does an ad actually blend into my personality? Like that makes
Right.
no sense.
Right.
And real talk, I would have asked so girl what subscription she was on. I'm like,
Yeah.
girl, let me hook me up to your package. Let me get a job here so I can be on your
Or
package.
whatever you're on,
Okay,
sis.
I'm
Yeah.
saying right because like let me get that Rivermind total plan, whatever the fuck it
Mhm.
is.
The
Like
the
let's
highest,
get
highest,
the
highest one
highest,
that was like
highest one.
$8,000 a
Right.
month. Yeah.
Out here
Yeah.
giving your firstborn child to it. Like,
Too much.
so like I think, I think like I think what I took away from that episode without getting too much spoiler for folks. Although part of me is like, y'all, if you haven't seen it yet, that's on y'all. But
Well, also,
but
T.
what I'll clock it,
Mhm.
but what I'll say is like I think like it was a huge commentary to me. I was like, to me, it's like a huge commentary of like right now, right? Like ads or like, but like we're all offered streaming, um, as this like new way of life, and
Mhm.
then quickly it became about ads for people,
Mhm.
right, as like revenue building, and then ads have like taken over our life again, and like in this episode, right, and like in this episode, right, it literally took over someone's
Took over
life,
her life. Yeah.
and I thought that was just so interesting, and also
Mhm.
like yeah, like definitely a theme of like like at what point will technology take over us and we like we become too fused for it,
Didn't even
like
think
too
about
fused to
that.
it,
Didn't
which
even
actually
think
leads into
about
my
that.
next thought for you because it's such like
Mhm.
it's such like a sci-fi thing, right? So do you think from what you've seen so far this season handles the balance of sci-fi speculation and human drama well?
Yeah, yeah. Yes. So to your point, like I said, there is one. So I will just be transparent saying I got through the first few episodes. I don't want to spend a lot of time harping on the Issa one because I know a lot of people have a lot of thoughts on that one. I don't really have any thoughts on that one per se. I thought it was just an episode, and I think they were trying to recapture energy that they caught with the queer episode that they did. I think it was in like season 3 or season 4, and
Mhm.
I don't think it landed the way that they wanted to. But that's neither here nor there. I think to say all of that, I will say that I do believe that the first few episodes nod at what we're, and I say we're as Black queer people, experiencing and living. Like when you think about, specifically that episode with the Black woman who worked in the office, right? This idea that she's having to deal with racism, gaslighting, and then also having the idea of like, how do I get this person's life? And so she was like hell bent. It was literally like the other girl was trying to the I don't really know how to explain it without giving away too many context clues, but that's like the theme. There's this theme of we want what we can't have. And also a lot of what we have, or a lot of what folks have, they got it in a very fucked up way. And so I think that's the thing that, like, that episode, again, I might be totally off, but that's kind of how I took that episode. I was like,
Mm,
wow, this is actually really deep, because I think we have a habit as people to look at the tech of life, right? And I say tech meaning you only see what someone posts, right? So I
mhm,
can post day in and day out that me and my partner are loving and happy, and that we're going on cruises, and that we're doing all of this stuff, and then you find out that I'm in a very abusive relationship. Like that's what technology does. It literally puts a blockade between the reality and what you're putting out there. I think the same thing about people and their jobs and their careers. I see people out here who, you follow them and you think, oh, they're on the red carpet and they have these really cute outfits and they're dolled up, and then you find out they're broke, right? Like you find out that they're
mm,
damn near, filing for bankruptcy. Because so it's just like
mm,
that's what that episode gave me. That episode gave me a lot of what you see is perception. It's not necessarily real. And I think that that's what I really like about Black Mirror as a series. I think it really
mm.
does well to get us, if you're a sci-fi girly, because I think if you're not a true sci-fi girly, you probably are not going to enjoy any of the
Yeah,
episodes.
I
But
agree
I
with that.
enjoy it. I'm a true sci-fi girly. And I think that this season did really good to be like, yo, like instead of us interrogating these systems, I think we need to start interrogating people. What do you think?
I think, like, I definitely think it's all about tech. To me, I see it as like tech growth, if left unchecked, could
Mm,
actually lead to our downfalls and like our decay as a society, right? Like, what
yeah.
only thing I got from this is like all the tech inventions are built to be helpful at first, I think, but
Mm-hmm.
capitalism quickly deteriorates all intention and
Yep.
decays good for the sake of funding. And so so I feel like that's one piece of it. Also, like how technology shapes your actual perception or reality. That was definitely present for me in that episode, like with the gaslighting of like, oh, part of this like, is how technology shapes reality. And I thought that was so interesting. Like that, like that whole the scene that when they were in the office watching the video,
Yeah.
and that changed. I was like, actually gagged.
Mm-hmm.
I also
Same.
feel like the idea of time is present in this. Like the episodes that I've seen so far, right, like are about either reliving time, correcting the past, or like changing
Mm-hmm.
your future, and how tech is like the conduit for life to change. But it
Yeah.
actually gives us like a false sense of security with it. Like Issa Rae's episode, or Issa Gay, as some people have been saying, because which I
Not Issa
love.
Gay. I
Which
am
I
so
love.
done.
It was so it was so interesting to me because the point of that tech was to relive nostalgia of old films and such, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you also could end up dying if something goes wrong on that film, and
Right.
so I thought that was like really interesting of like you have this technology to help like relive the magic of like the silver screen, the day or to like interact with people that like you can never interact with before, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're frozen in time. They only have like their models are only up to that point in time, and you don't actually know how to interact with them at present anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And yet you're trying to have this magic that like won't have because you're actually in two different like two different timelines, and so it's like it's actually like
Yeah.
impossible, right?
Yeah.
Or in the second episode, right? That like the girl had it all. She lived through every timeline, and was still not enough for her, so she wanted to get revenge.
Right.
In the first episode, right? The first episode, like she needed more time,
Yeah.
but time came at a cost for her.
And she was
Like,
trying to buy
it came
it.
at a like
Yeah.
a literal cost and a cost of
Uh-huh.
like who she was as a person because she had ads, right? And so it's just
Yeah.
like a we're all fighting for time to be different and using tech to do that.
Yeah.
Um, but it actually isn't. It's actually for more harm than good, despite you thinking it being for good.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, so okay, so that being said, because the stuff that I feel like feels really really cool about it for me. I'm curious to ask you, what's impressed you the most so far, like in what you've seen.
And what I've seen so far, I think, well, one, I will also give it and say I love the fact that there's more representation in
Mm,
terms of, I mean, obviously, episode 2, you have episode 3, you have Black women who are pretty much the leads in these,
mhm.
in both the episodes, and right. And like I said, I haven't made it fully through, but
Oh, the
what?
episode 1 is too.
Well,
Don't
no, I'm not saying. Well, I'm not
don't hate on my
saying
girl
that.
Rashida.
I'm not saying that Rashida's not. But what I'm saying is, I kind of feel like she's more of a co-star than she
Uh,
is the lead. No
okay,
shade. I'm just saying. I
yeah.
feel like the story is really about her husband and the way we're seeing
Mm.
from his lens
Oh, you're
how
right, no.
his wife, right? As much
You
as
ate that.
Rashida's
You
in
ate that. No,
it,
you're right. You're right. No, you're right. You're right. You're right. Because you're right. It is it's
right?
about the length he's trying to go to for cost to like. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, you ate that. Go on.
It's about him and his perception on what he's doing to help his wife stay. We said no spoilers, but at this point, we're just gonna have to talk about it. But yeah, ultimately,
Yeah.
what he's doing to keep his wife alive.
Yeah.
And so I say that to say, like, I think but I also, like I said, and I also think that I appreciate this season that they're dealing with more topics of like emotions. Like, I feel like in the seasons past, we would get to an emotional arc in the episode and then something would happen and we would kind of forget that that emotion is
Mm.
that was there. It would
Yeah.
something else would happen and then it would take away that from that scene. But I feel like in the 3 episodes that I've seen so far, even though I would say, like I said, the 3rd episode's not my favorite, there's still an emotional arc that I feel like we actually got to see out of all of the characters, right?
Mm.
In the 1st episode, we set with the emotions of, what is loss, right? How even with all the money that they were trying to spend to keep their wife alive, they still couldn't get over what emotions they had around the child that they had lost, right?
Mhm.
In episode 2, you're dealing with this woman who's, she's really smart and she has this great job and she's doing really good at work. And no matter what she does, she still ends up on the out of this job, right? Nothing she
Yeah.
does. So like just this constant feeling of emotion. And so I'm really, that's what also makes me really excited. One, for my cruise that I can download it and watch it when in my downtime, but also too, like I think I think this is there's so much emotional connection pieces. Like there are so
Mhm.
many pieces that are connected to this conversation around technology. And I think people take technology for face value.
Mm,
And I'm
mhm.
going, no, a lot of this stuff, like I can, so I'll say this and then I'll ask you. I can see why my parents and my grandparents were very apprehensive when tech, because again, so we have a little bit of a age difference, but I'm
Mhm.
almost certain you were probably old enough to remember this. Like, do you
Mhm.
do you remember that moment or feeling like we went from like little tech to it being like big tech? And
For
it was like, it
sure.
literally felt like overnight. It literally felt like overnight. It's like we went to bed and it was like, oh, you can have a cell phone, but cell phones are expensive and not everybody can have them. And then it was like we went to bed and woke up and it was like, oh my God, everybody has a cell phone.
Yeah, no,
And it
we went from, what was it? It was the T-Mobile one, the one that you'd slap the what's it called? The Sidekick.
the
We
sidekick,
went from Sidekick to
that
iPhone
loud
like
ass
that.
phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was. And so like I can but now as an adult, I think, and also too just because we're critical thinkers, right? I think there's a part of me that also understands why my family, why my grandparents, why some of my older family members, even my mom. My mom is, in her 60s and she's still, that's too much for me. I'm not doing that.
Mhm.
Like my mom won't wear an Apple Watch, or she don't believe in tap because she doesn't trust the machine. There are a lot of little things that we're seeing implemented where my mom, I don't facial recognition. Nah, I don't want that because I don't want them
Mm.
doing stuff with my face. Like I
Mhm.
see that, but I'm saying like I think coming back to the show, I think that there's an emotional piece that I think we need to interrogate, and I think that this season really set us up well to challenge that question. What are your thoughts about it?
Whew.
I know I said a lot.
My gosh, I'm trying to think. There's like so many things going through my head. Um, could you rephrase the question?
And I just want to know, like, what are your thoughts? I guess I can even
Oh
ask
yeah,
you too, like,
yeah.
yeah.
My thoughts on one thing so far.
Mm-hmm.
I think like I mean, I've never been I was never an avid watcher of the show. Like I watched a few episodes here and there.
Mm-hmm.
When I first heard about it, I thought it was like a horror. I thought it was like this is like oh like because like Black Mirror sounds like scary and terrifying. And I was like, oh, actually isn't that scary. It's actually pretty like interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like and I remember the first one I saw was the one where like the prime minister had sex with the pig, and that was just like an interesting
Oh, okay.
wild
I didn't
thing.
see that one. Oh my
That was the first one
lord.
I saw. I was like, "This shit is a wild." Then I saw the one, like where you can like replay like memories through your eyes or through a screen, which
Okay.
is interesting. Then I saw the one that was like where you rate the people. Everyone loved the San Junipero.
San
I never saw one.
Junipero. That's the one.
I never saw one, but
Mm-hmm.
people like love that one. But yeah, so like there's some things I was like yes, just something I was like whatever about. But I think like what I definitely have always thought like yes, this feels too close to home for me,
Too real. Yeah.
too. I think because and like my family was never like my family's pretty tech forward. Like they were never like shy from tech. I remember like Y2K was like such a thing for them for sure. They were definitely like,
Black
okay,
people. Uh-huh.
It's New Year's Eve, Y2K. Like we hope we come back.
Girl,
Like, the
fix your
world's
stuff.
fine,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
thankfully it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that I think that the show I watch it more now because I do the show I think like makes you face yourself
Yeah.
in some things, right? And honestly, like a lot of British shows, I would say, make you face yourself. Like it's
They're
ironic.
better than they're
No,
better.
and it's
I'm sorry.
ironic
British
because I'm
TV is
like
so much better.
it's ironic because I'm like for the OG
Mhm.
colonizers, they really do know how to make
Yeah,
some
they
great,
make really
compelling
good TV.
TV.
Their
Okay, they're
TV is so much
well
better than
maybe
ours.
because they're like, listen, we've learned, so like we're trying to help you learn, and so
Yeah,
I feel like it makes you face yourself in things that you haven't. It makes you, in some ways, it's like it does it, and and it's like you become conscious and but you keep doing it anyways,
yeah.
which is also part of the point of the show. Or it makes you like change something about it, right? And so I think now, like it's such a compelling series because right they have it called like Black Mirror. Like for my first one, I was like, why I gotta be black? But Mirror, right? It's like it's holding right because
Mhm.
Black Mirror because it's showing you like the quote unquote like darker side of the mirror, right? We ain't
Right.
gotta call it black because I'm like that's not,
But also your screen.
that's racial, right? Like
I
but
always took it as like your computer screen or your phone
yes,
screen or
is
your
like it
tablet screen.
like is that is no exactly right.
Mhm.
Like it's a Black Mirror. You have no idea what's actually happening on the
On the other
other side of
side.
that, right? Like you actually have
Yeah.
no idea, like all this shit that's competing, right? Like for example, like I'm sure people don't actually know, like people actually don't actually know that like when they use ChatGPT or AI stuff, it actually uses like a shit ton of water from
Yeah.
like other water systems in different countries, right? Like that is exactly like a Black Mirror thing. Like you don't know what's happening behind that screen that you use.
Mhm.
And so I think the show is just so it's just so interesting and so fascinating and so compelling in that way. I think it definitely. I know you did a question on there of like, do I think it's optimistic or dystopian? I think it's absolute dystopian. I think it's like if George Orwell wrote 1984 20,000 times, right?
Yeah.
It's just different versions of this. I think it is all about our consumption, our greed. It's about
Oh,
like
well.
how we save face or use others to save face, how we gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss.
Mhm. Uh-huh. Yep.
It is holding it forces us to reckon with like how we act as people in the world too.
Yeah.
Um, and if you actually get the show, it will make you think about how you act as a person in the world
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
context of the thing you watched. If
Yeah.
you don't get it, then you'll watch it and be like, "That was good TV," and then just keep
Right.
walking,
Right.
which
Yeah.
is also like part of the joke too, right? Like it also it's a very self aware show of like, listen, you may watch it and just think it's compelling TV and great, and then you're missing the whole point. Or you may watch and be like, girl, I should stop rating people on my
Yeah.
Instagram sometimes, or
Right,
I should
right.
stop
Mhm.
doing XYZ and stuff. So,
Comparing myself or
yeah.
looking, and that's I love, yeah, I agree, one of the last questions that we have, was, I wanted to ask you, do will it is it making us more hopeful, or is it really making us more scared? And I think kind of like to this point around, I've heard so many. I only really listen to like 3 or 4 different podcasts, so I'll say that. But in one of the podcasts that I listen to, and shout out to the Friend Zone because I'm a huge fan of the work that they do over there. But I was going to say on the Friend Zone, I know that Asante has brought this conversation up multiple times, talking about AI and talking about tech and the ways that tech has, helped us, and how tech has ultimately, you know, kicked our ass in so many different ways, right? And I think that that's one of the things I'm constantly trying to be mindful about. Like, I mean, for me, I was kind of the same way with you. And again, I don't want to give myself too much pat on the back, because I am that girl that struggles with the feeling of FOMO when I see my friends upgrading their phones and their computers. And I know I can now, right? Like I have the means to,
Mm-hmm.
but I also hear Jade in my ear, Jade from, Jade and XD, Jade in my ear being like, excuse my language, but like, nigga, you don't need a new phone. Like you have the latest phone. Why do you keep upgrading?
Mm-hmm.
You're
Mm-hmm.
wasting money. You're only making the world or the earth more terrible. And I hear that and I respect that. And I'm like, yes, Jade, I hear you. But also at the same time, it's hard because it's like that little me, the little 10, 15-year-old kid who was broke is still struggling with the notion
Mm,
of everyone else got something new and I don't, right? And I think
mm,
that's the thing that Black Mirror has us like revel with, right? We it revels like the whole concept of Black Mirror, not even just the season, but in general, is this idea of, like you said, capitalism and elitism. And
mhm,
this notion of how truly deadly, and I think from episode 1, how deadly elitism can be for us. And so
mhm,
I think I've lovingly taken a step back and said, like, even down to this computer that I record on. And so, I mean, a lot of my friends know I'm really deep into the Apple ecosystem. And, for a very long time I had an M1, which is a Mac 1 Studio. And, even when the Mac 2 came out, I was like, no, John, like this is the opportunity for you to sit with your computer that you don't need and really work on whatever issues you have about feeling like you have to have the newest one every time it comes out. And so I waited 5 years to get a new, Mac Studio. And
mm,
like that's big for me. That was really
yeah.
big for me. But there's still this element of like I'm still learning that I don't always need the newest thing. I don't always need to be spending my money, but also too like just the thought of how tech and elitism and all those pieces get into your head and make you feel less because you don't have what everyone else has. Yeah, it's all fucked up. It really
No, girl,
is.
you know
So
that's so real because that's something like this MacBook is the first probably like the most I ever spent on a computer before was this MacBook, and I bought
mhm,
it because I had not bought a laptop since I was in college. The last
yeah.
laptop I had was one that my last job had just let me keep, because they had bought this like top of the line one when I started working there and let me keep it. But like this first time I bought a laptop of this much money, and I was like a
Mm.
privilege I can do it, but also I was like, God damn, like this shit's expensive. But and I pray it lasts me forever. I
Yes.
pray it lasts me fucking forever because
Yes. Yeah.
it better for the price I paid for it.
Yeah.
This first time I had like a top of the line thing, and I also like see why it works well. Like I can do all my stuff on here. It's a powerhouse, but
Yeah.
I'm also very mindful of like I don't want it to be last just a year and call it a good day, right? Like because and I also think things are positioned to us to be like, oh, like you need the new one because the old one is not lasting as long, right?
Right.
Like my roommate, Savannah's gonna hate this. If she ever listens to it, but this girl was pushing an iPhone 12 for the past. She's been pushing an iPhone 12 for the past at
Wow.
least the past 4 or 5 years, right?
That's
Like
gold.
she just got a 16 after, and I've been like, girl, upgrade your phone. Like I was like, Miss Girl, you still have 2 cameras and they're not even diagonal. They're like like you still have the notch. Like, girl, like this phone is cracked. Like you have the old
Girl,
screen.
stop. Let
You're
it
like
go.
you
Yeah.
you ain't got tap on your phone, bitch. Like I
Oh
was out here hot, and she
no.
And like, bless her soul, she was like, bitch, I don't need, like, I don't need it for the things that I don't need it. And I'm like, but you do. If you're out here recording videos in 1080p. You can't even do 4K. What are you doing, right?
Yeah.
Like I was coming for her, and and she was like, "Girl, I'm good."
Some people
But
don't
and then
care.
like right and it's like to some extent, like I was the same way. Like I got I got the iPhone 13, and the 15 was already out, and I was like, I don't need the 15. Like the 13 is just fine.
Mhm.
And then this year was like, okay, like it's been 3 models. I probably should get a new one, right? And
It's
she
time for you to upgrade, babe.
yeah, and she has got the 16 as well. She got the 16, and she and she gets like, yeah, like I get it now. I get it now. And me and her are both like, you know what though, this probably this will probably last us a few years. We don't need to
And
get
it will, and
the
it will.
17 anymore and
Yeah.
stuff. So
No,
yeah.
it's I
Whew.
saw before we move on, I saw a man today. I think it had to have been because it still had the touch button on it. He had an iPad with the touch circle button on it, and I said, "My God, what a relic!"
He
Because I
said
have not
vintage.
seen,
You
yeah,
said
I
how
have not
vintage.
seen an iPad with a little touch sensor thing
Girl.
on it since I finished my
You
doctoral
know what?
program.
No song I was listening to? I was listening to the You a Jerk. You a jerk.
Yeah.
That's not
Oh
because
God.
one of the lyrics is
Uh-huh.
like,
Uh-huh.
one of the lyrics is like the new iPod, just touch it and turn me on. And I'm like, not the iPod
Oh.
Touch, because the way that was like a
Oh.
moment
What a
about the
moment.
iPod Touch,
Oh.
and then how quickly the iPod was erased
Can we, yeah, oh,
from
literally,
memory when the
Apple
iPhone
said,
came out. You're done. You're
"You
done.
get you
Like,
you go ahead and wrap it up because 'cause you're done, girl."
gutted,
They literally
rotted.
folded that iTunes, the iPod, they folded her up and got her up out of there ASAP. But do you remember, so my question for you is, which one did you, so I did the touch, and then
I had the iPod Touch. My mom
okay,
had got, for work one day, she had got the iPhone 3G, when 3G
okay,
was a thing, but it was
yeah,
before the 4S, before Siri was a thing.
before Siri, I
So
had that one.
it was the one I bought before that. And I
Mhm.
remember us both being like, how the fuck does phone work? We were both gooped. Like, how does phone work? We don't know
Yeah,
how
I
this thing
remember
worked. It was
being
great. I was like, 3G?
obsessed.
How of the future we are. Now we're at 5G.
And let's talk about it, because if you didn't have good credit, you couldn't have that phone because AT&T
Yes.
had that phone exclusively.
Yes.
And so my black ass, because I had bad credit at the time, keyword is had, I had
Period.
to go to Sprint because Sprint didn't do credit checks at the time, and so I could not have the
Which is
iPhone.
crazy, right?
They
Y'all
didn't.
y'all know the struggle it was. Like it's true, because yeah,
Uh-huh.
because my parents always had a business account,
Yeah.
and so we always can get any like upgrade
Any of,
we want to
yeah,
get, but
yeah.
my dad, my dad was so silly. He had almost opened, like he was having trouble one day with the account, so he was like, fuck it, I'll just like, oh, like, I'll just open my own account.
Yeah.
And they saw his credit, and they said, "Sir, you can't open an account here."
No,
And he
yeah, if
was
your
like,
credit was fucked, you could not, there was
and I
no
was
way.
like, "God."
Verizon too. Verizon was real hard on that. I was so happy the day that I was able to clean up and fix and get my credit together. That was the first thing I did. Is I ran out to Verizon. And that was actually the same year that Verizon started carrying the iPhone. And I ran out to Verizon
Mm.
and I got my iPhone and I was so happy
So
about
give
it.
me
And
my
I
phone,
I
bitch.
was with Verizon up through that to that point, and then I just recently switched from Verizon to AT&T because
Mm.
Verizon service is terrible now. But that's a
But,
whole nother
you know, but
conversation.
hot take, I still
Mhm.
miss a QWERTY keyboard. I still miss it.
Yeah,
I miss a QWERTY
yeah.
keyboard.
Oh my, the way I
I
would be going to work with these thumbs,
girl,
that's where my
the
joints
way
hurt now.
my finger knew every fucking button without me looking at it.
And
Girl.
the way I would flip, so let's talk about this real quick. The way I would flip that phone open and I would hit that one thumb key text
Girl.
situation and
Girl.
hit send and close that phone and go about my business.
The way I thought
My God.
my first smartphone, it was called the Motorola Charm. It looked
Uh-huh.
like a BlackBerry. It was like a full keyboard. It was just like one screen, no slide, no flip, just one thing, a full keyboard, and then the top half was touchscreen. You can tell me shit, bitch. I thought I was executive cunt realness on that thing. I said,
That was me when I got my BlackBerry. I got a BlackBerry. Didn't no
can't tell
reason to
me
have a
shit.
black
Can't
no
tell me shit,
reason to have
girl.
a BlackBerry.
Have your,
What do I have a
have your people
BlackBerry
call my
for?
people, girl. No,
Right.
I
But that
please.
BBM, did you
Okay.
ever have a BlackBerry?
No, no, I had the Charm instead because the
Okay.
Blackberries weren't sold at where we get our phones at. So yeah,
Yeah.
so I had this thing instead.
Oh,
But you can tell me, bitch, the way I would say, oh, I'm an executive girl. Okay,
yes.
give me my 5-inch pumps, give me my cute little
Mhm.
blazer, bitch. I am a
Yeah.
business
Mhm.
woman. You
I
can't tell me
had the way
shit.
my financial aid made me feel like I was a business girly, like I had business on campus to do. I had to be in the UH, the University Hall building to get it done, honey. For those of you who
Yes.
know Cal State San Bernardino that are listeners, you know what I'm talking about, girl. The way I would move around.
Screaming.
So I'm we're not getting out of this too easy. Then let's talk about then the rumor came out. The rumor came out. What was comparable to the rumor was the chocolate. So Verizon and
Oh my
AT&T had the
god,
chocolate, and
stop.
you remember it pushed
Yes.
up and it had the QWERTY in the bottom.
Yeah.
So Verizon and AT&T had the chocolate, whereas we had the rumor, and
Yes.
it was rumor two.
I
And
had,
then,
oh my god, what I had? So
mhm,
I had, because that was LG. I had the Samsung version of that. Everything,
yes,
bitch, and that I felt unstoppable because the way I was, like, I have a full phone on here, and then turn to the side, push up, I have a whole.
and you could text your whole the way I would be going off on people with that, and it would give me like I think it gave me like 500 characters, so I could write a
Please,
whole story
an
in a
essay,
text
girl.
message. Girl, get your life, get your life. And then that's like I said, I went from the rumor to the iPhone, and then
That
and then I've
1.3
never looked
megapixel
back.
camera, girl, hate to see me coming, okay, bitch?
Baby, let me
Okay.
the way that my bathroom mirror hated to see me coming with when they put the camera on the phone, it was over. I didn't even need a camera anymore. I was using my
I'm
phone for every photo, girl. I thought
screaming.
I was somebody.
I thought-
Every 5 minutes I was
I
taking a
said, this
photo of
shit
myself.
crisp, girl. This shit is
Amen.
crisp, okay?
Crisp,
This is
honey.
DSLR quality,
Ah,
baby.
what a moment. Yes, what a moment. Oh, walking down memory lane. But anyway, all that to be
Okay, we got
said, yes, all that to be said.
fam. Now that we have turned off every app and gone down every memory road, and make sure the apps are no longer listening to us the past 30 years, we gotta take a quick break and come back with more show in just a bit.
All right, y'all. So this week we're going to keep the tech conversation going just a little bit more for our next segment. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to add a little bit of a twist with the conversation. I wanted to ask the question, since we just finished talking a lot about Black Mirror this week for what's on your plate. I wanted to ask you, how has food apps like Uber Eats and DoorDash changed the way you eat, or the way you think we eat, or the way that we interact with food in general? I know for me, I personally have a love-hate relationship with DoorDash because one, I get robbed by them every single week. But what I will also say at this point, the relationship I have with like the DoorDash and the Uber Eats, I feel like the food quality has gone down because of them. Am I wrong for feeling that way? What are your thoughts?
That is such an interesting question. Okay, I'm so sorry. I do have to go back to our last segment real quick, just because you had me go down a rabbit hole really quickly about just like the names of phones back then. The girls today could never,
Oh
because
no.
I'm like, wait, like you had the Samsung Gravity, the Samsung Instinct, the HP Envy, the Motorola Razor,
Motorola
the
Razor.
Riser,
Yes,
like the
Razor.
names you girls could not
No,
today.
phone
You
girls
could
couldn't even. The
never
phone
be
girls
them.
can't at all though, but that's because
You just have
Sa-
iPhone, Galaxy, and Pixel, bitch.
that's it. That's
Okay.
it.
We had these phones had character.
Yeah,
They
and
had
you wanted them.
personality, and
And
you
you wanted
wanted
them.
them.
Yes, that was it
I
wasn't
like
even there was not even a chance of like, "Oh, that phone is cute." No. If you like, for instance, like even for me, like as much as I had my rumor, I still was that girl who wanted the sidekick. I To this day,
yes.
if a sidekick was to ever show up on AT&T's website, I might have it. I may go
Girl,
get it. I'm
if
just
they
saying.
redo the
I may.
sidekick, I'm not gonna lie, I would
Mhm.
scream. I would
My
I'd
big
be
ass
like,
would be
listen, bye Apple. Bye Apple.
that loud ass phone.
I'm
But yes,
screaming. Okay, sorry. I had like I had just like wrap it up for myself. I was like, wait,
that's
I was
fine.
going
That's
down this thing.
fine.
Okay,
Mhm.
so do I think I don't think I don't think DoorDash or like Uber Eats is what made the quality go down. I
Mm,
do think it contributes because maybe people are ordering at like a more rapid rate.
yeah.
There's and it's never consistent. There are some times where like the meal I order from DoorDash is like on 10, and sometimes I'm like, what the fuck did this bitch give me? Or I'm like, what the fuck did this bitch pick up? Like, what is
Yeah.
happening here?
Mhm, or why is it
Um,
taking so why's my food on a world tour?
right, I'm saying, well, girl, because do the worst thing they ever made was let me track my food. Because I said, why is this
Right,
man?
why are they going
Why
why
is he
are
going
you
somewhere
I
else?
live in San Diego, why are
Let me
you
call
in
him right now. Let me call him right now and
right,
be like, "Girl, you took the wrong exit, didn't you?"
why are you in Escondido
Because
with my food?
The way I be messaging them, like, "Is the food ready
Yes.
yet?" And they're like, "Oh, waiting for the order." Girl, tell me to hurry up. Like, I get mad. Me and my DoorDash drivers become best friends. And
See.
some are mad cute, girl. Some are mad cute. This is one guy who like he was so fine. And I was like
Mm-mm,
mad playing with
mm.
him. We had to have a whole kiki on the phone. I was like then when he like when he delivered to me, I was like, would you be a personal delivery
DoorDash
driver? And he was
mhm.
like, I could be. And I was like,
How you doing?
for anything? And he was like,
Yes.
maybe. And then I was like, and he was like, and then he walked away and then he walked away and didn't give me his number. I said, "Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Well,
That's fine."
but
I
I
would
mean, you have his
and
information,
boom.
you could go into the DoorDash and say, "Hey, you forgot to bring the utensils. Can you
Oh,
bring that back? Can
you
you bring
smart.
it back? Can you come
You
back?
smart.
Can
I
you
never
come
thought
bring
that.
the
I said, "Oh, he's
utensils?"
gone forever." That was
Mm-mm.
like 200
Oh,
DoorDashes ago anyways.
200 ago. Yeah.
I do feel too dependent on them
Yeah.
now, and like Instacart and stuff, but I do feel like
Oh.
they helped me a lot when I needed them. Sometimes,
Mhm.
listen, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I will say sometimes I smell a stunt when these things came really popular during COVID. I said, "Oh,
Yeah. It felt
I never heard about this
uh-huh.
until," and I was like, "Oh, interesting."
Uh-huh.
They got
Yeah.
DoorDash, Instacart, Uber Eats. I said, "Oh, interessante, y'all. That's
Mhm. But
wild."
even Zoom, didn't Zoom become real big because of the pandemic?
Yes, but Zoom
Mhm.
was always there. I mean, DoorDash was too, I guess, but I never heard of Instacart until the pandemic. And I said,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
but I mean, I use them a lot because I was like, I'm not gonna go shopping. I'm not gonna risk my health. Go to the
Right.
store.
Right, right.
I honestly I ordered DoorDash less during the pandemic because I ordered like once a week just like support small businesses, and then I would
Right.
cook a lot. I ordered them a lot more since the world opened up.
Yeah. Same.
And sometimes, but I'm a Dash Pass member, and so I'm always like, oh, I get free delivery, but, and they don't tell you this, but sometimes the menu prices are higher on DoorDash,
They
even between
are.
pickup or delivery,
Clock
the
that
prices are
T.
higher. So that
Clock
rate,
that
when the
T.
rate goes up, I said, girl, I'll pick up instead.
Uh-huh.
And so,
Playing.
and now I live in an area where I can pick up easily because I just walk there. But there are
Mhm.
times where the place is around the corner, and I will still deliver, bitch.
That was me today. I was coming back from the airport and I really wanted Imma name it because I really wanted Ono, Hawaiian Ono, and I was looking to see where one was, and there was one maybe 15 minutes out of the way, and I said, "Do I spend the 15 minutes driving there and the 15 minutes driving back, or do I just pay the $30 for DoorDash?"
No,
I
John,
DoorDash.
I could literally walk to this place in 8
Mm-mm.
minutes, and I'm like, "Deliver,
Sometimes it be
bitch."
that way.
Sometimes it'd
Sometimes
be
it
like
be
but
that way.
and you know what? Sometimes I do it because I can, because I
Right.
can,
Right.
because
That's what we
Lily
work
could not,
for.
and
The
I
girls,
can,
that's what we
okay?
work for, right?
That's
What I
what being
will
adult
ask
is.
so before we skirt out of here, what I was gonna say, I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts on ghost kitchens? Because
No,
I know
we have this comment before, and
we have?
I
Okay.
stand by it. I
Okay.
still love it. I know you hate it.
Yeah.
I ride for it heavy. Okay, when they're done well,
No.
there's this ghost kitchen
No.
that did vegan sushi. That shit was fire. I ordered from it at least once a week. There's another ghost kitchen that did like where else will I fucking find pierogies? Okay, and
No.
that shit was fire. I've had some bad ones, but there are
Okay.
some good ones. Although I will say I did order my friend had ordered cheesecake from this ghost kitchen, and we went in the hood somewhere. We're like, where the fuck is this place at? It looked so bougie and fancy. And we're like, this kitchen looks rowdy as hell.
Yeah.
And it was fine, but we were like, this is not
Oh,
giving what I thought
be
it was
worried.
giving. So
I'll be
like
worried.
sometimes it does. Sometimes it is a little bit like,
Yeah.
girl.
I think for me, the question is more around the automated. So I had made a note, and I'll put the story in I'll put the actual article in our show notes. But I was gonna say there have been stories about the mishaps around the fully automated restaurants that like McDonald's been trying to do fully automated, and then Taco Bell, I think there was like a flood. There was something happened
Oh yeah,
with
yeah,
one
yeah.
of the Taco Bells that was like a fully automated one too. And I just been thinking a lot about that. Like, is this the like kind of talking about the Black Mirror of it all and the technology of it all? Like, is this the way that the world? And I think the biggest thing for me and the reason why I'm like no on a lot of this also is just another way for like houseless people and people who don't have the means to kind of be left out on the curb. And
Mm.
um that actually reminds me of I'm actually going to change my No Man Pam this week. That just reminded me of something. But
Nope.
anyway, all that to be said, yeah, I'm still a little on the fence about.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of ghost kitchens, and I'm still very, very iffy. Like you said, with the Waymo of it all, I don't like the idea of automated restaurants either. So yeah, I'm real on the fence about
Part of the experience for me to the restaurant is to like chit chat with
it.
with the server and the hostess. Like I
Yes, yes.
listen, I'm not. I often get free things when I go out
Uh huh.
because
You're charming.
I'm likable. I
Yes.
can't charm a robot, bitch. Like, listen,
Yes,
like
that's the title of the episode. I can't charm a robot. I know that's right. I'm
I'm not
screaming.
saying that
I'm
I
screaming.
try to get free things, but
Mhm.
I'm not mad that I do.
Yes,
But I'm not gonna try and charm the Android girl.
I
Like,
knew
ain't
it.
gonna work. I keep like, hey, I'm like, hey, Roby, you look sparkly today. I can't say that to them.
Well, that's just like the time. So, also friend to the show, my friend Heather. I think you've met Heather before. You met Heather at the book
Yeah.
signing. My friend Heather, me, her, and another friend of ours. I don't know if you've met Quasm
No,
before.
the three of you like kiki a lot or
Yeah,
like yeah.
the three of us were real close. And so we went out to dinner once and they had a robot bringing our drinks out. And I was thinking to myself, like, I don't like this. And the guy was like, oh no, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. And it felt like the robot kept dropping the sodas and the water and the stuff every time it hit the
The
corner.
bitch out here being
And I'm like,
shaky.
right.
Girl,
And
girl,
I'm like, well, why do
be a
you keep
robot.
sending this thing out if she's dropping water everywhere? Like, yeah, so
Yeah, slip
uh-uh.
inside.
Get that out of here. Have somebody bring me my water, please. Yeah, I'm
Truly,
very
get somebody else to do it for real.
get somebody else, get a human to do it. Please get a human to do it because this is definitely not it. But anyway, now that we have you questioning why DoorDash and Uber Eats got all these damn scam ass fees, we're gonna take a break for some non-scam advertisements. And when we come back, we'll be here with your favorite segment. Back in a flash. All right, y'all. So this week, obviously, like I said in the last segment, I actually am going to change one of my. Well, I'm probably going to add it to my No Man Pam because it's our show. We can do whatever the fuck we want.
Period.
So this week for my yes, ma'am, I just wanted to shout out for those of you who've been following me and who've been knowing. So by the time y'all hear this episode, I just want to put this out there for our listeners. We are recording a little bit earlier than what we normally record because we both have work stuff. We also have I'm going on vacation, so we're trying to make sure that y'all there are no bumps in the listening.
We're keeping y'all fed.
Right, we're trying to keep y'all fed while we also take care of ourselves in the meantime. So I just wanted to make sure that I put that out. So by the time you hear this, it's been a couple of weeks since I got back from Berkeley, but I definitely still feel like this sentiment will still be here by the time you hear this. And so I just wanted to big up my friend Gia Juniper, who is is a co-director of or I don't know if it's co-executive director, but I don't know their full title. But anyway, I know that they run the GSA network. And for those of you who don't know what the GSA network is, the Gay Straight Alliance Network is an organization that actually works throughout both Northern and Southern California to make sure that LGBTQ youth can feel safe in their schools and have the support that they need. And I just think Gia is doing a fantastic job. And she helped me with some stuff around my book launch, or my book talk a couple of weeks ago. And I just watching her and the community that she's built and just the way that she's raising her son and just everything about Gia, it makes me believe. I don't know if you saw that clip. It's going viral. There is, somebody was saying, they asked the question, how do you know that God is real? And the person responded by saying, because I know trans people. That's how I
Yes.
feel when I
Yeah.
look at Gia. Like, I know God
Mm,
is real. And I've been wanting to
mm,
say that ever since I landed in Berkeley and I connected with Gia. I felt that I was like, I know God is real because trans people exist. And it's just such a beautiful, like, just to watch her and to know that she's in this world and to know that she's doing what she's doing, it just makes me so happy to be alive. So,
mm,
yeah,
mm.
yes, 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 yes. So there's that. The No Man Pam that I have. So I have two, and I don't know how the second one's going to land, but I'm going to start with this first one. Being in Berkeley is cute. Okay, I want to say that, but I had never been to Berkeley until that book talk when I got asked to come up. Did you ever know of a HCO fee? And I still have no fucking clue what that
So
HCO
were you
means.
on campus or were you
No, I was at a restaurant. We went to the Boathouse in Berkeley, and I
it may
saw
like
my
so I it could be like a health like a healthcare related cost. So I know on campus there's a healthcare fee, and I know that some restaurants in the Bay did implement that after the pandemic to help with those costs.
mm,
I honestly, whenever I go to Berkeley, like because I'm based in East Bay, so I go here and there. I don't pay for things myself, so I have no idea
mhm,
what happens. Or I don't go. I don't go to like fancy like not like fancy places
yeah,
like if I'm there, like I'm getting like boba or something. So I haven't seen anything like that.
mhm.
But I was like, girl,
Yeah,
that's
I don't
that's
know
that's
if
interesting.
anybody that listens to this and they are from Berkeley, yes, girl, I'm pissed because I had to pay. They added $11. There was my fee of how much I paid for my meal, and there was an extra $11 on top of the tax that I already had to pay. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And I called the waiter back over and I said, I don't mean to be cheap because I'm not that girl. I'm if Normally, if I see a fee on my receipt, I'm usually that girl that's like, it's a couple of dollars, let it go. It's not a big deal. I'm not gonna make a stink. But I was like, $11. I said, I want to know what this fee is. And so the lady was like, I don't even know. And I'm like, well, why? Like, how are we getting away with this? Like,
Not
I
she don't even know. She said,
she didn't
"Girl,
know. She
the
said, and
hell
she
if
said,
I know.
I'm
I'm
not
just
the first
here."
person, right? And she said, I'm not the first person to complain about it. But I'm just like, what the fuck is the HCO fee? So, and you might be right. It could
Mm,
be for healthcare. It could be to be helping people who may need it, and I respect that. But like I said, I just wish. Like, for instance, if you go to restaurants here in Southern California now, a lot of them have those signs on their window that says, yes, we implement an additional 6.25
yeah,
tax
yeah.
on that is not a tip, and that is to help us to make sure that we can pay the workers fairly. I'm like, okay, bet, right? If you're telling me up front that I'm going to be paying an additional 6.25% of whatever I'm paying to make sure that these people can have a livable wage, I know I'm paying for it, right? And I could be pissed off about that, but at the same time, sometimes it costs money to make money. So whatever, right? I don't really trip off that. But the fact that people just be sliding these fees in, like how some of these companies are sliding in fees to
Mhm.
egg, fuck. So the other day when I was trying to get to the airport, I had to pee, and I went into and I asked the girl, could I use the restroom because it needed a code? And she was like, oh, you have to be a customer. And I said, you know what? And so I just left because I didn't want to cuss her out. But it still pisses me off that companies and organizations or whatever do this. Like, this is just a clear, very, very upfront. And that's what reminded me when we were talking in the last segment. This reminded me of the ways that we really shit on houseless people who can barely just, again, like, they have no
Mhm.
luxury, they have no liberty, they're not treated like humans. I know in my heart of hearts that the only reason why people police those restrooms is because they don't want houseless people in them. And it really, really bugs me. So yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, all that to be
Mm.
said, yeah, fuck companies who police the bathroom. What are your yes ma'ams and no ma'ams for this week?
Ooh, just
I know
know
I
that
said a lot.
just know that I feel you on that for sure. Like, I think if they're gonna pay, give them an hour. Like, give them an hour to because truthfully, who sits here anyways? Like, not many people sit here anyways. So, like, girl, give them an
Right.
hour to sit and stuff. And I'll say like for data, queer and trans folks, especially queer and trans folks of color, majority of us get our internet usage through public spaces like cafes,
Yep.
coffee shops, and libraries.
Yep.
So kicking us out won't help us, and it will actually make us more disenfranchised. Think about that.
Yep. Yep.
So my yes men and no men hams are a bit double sided today. They're both for the phrase "protect the dolls."
Mm.
Yes, man, because yes, protect the dolls. Like I love that. I love seeing it on shirts. I love seeing it on posters. I love seeing it everywhere. My no man ham is you can't just wear it and call that a damn day, girl. Like
Hello? do,
y'all
do
are
something, girl.
y'all listen, I love Pedro Pascal. I do. I really do. Y'all are on his dick about this because he wore a shirt that says protect the dolls. Newsflash, sis, the dolls are protected. Like what? Like bless his soul. But and I'm not trying to attack any person. I
Mhm.
do not ask what is he doing for the dolls.
Right.
Troye
Right.
Sivan wore it at Coachella. I live, laugh, love. No one. Now, I'll just say this: no one said anything about Troye Sivan wearing it. All y'all said about Pedro Pascal because you call him daddy and love him because he's hot. No one said anything about Troye Sivan wearing it on a stage at stage at Coachella. Like, why is
Right.
no one giving him his flowers? And also, what is Troy doing for the dolls? Like, when you say protect the dolls, like, what do y'all mean? Because I'm telling you right now, most folks who look at that shirt, they're
They
gonna
don't know what
think
it.
about actual dolls, like Barbie.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
gonna know who the dolls are. You're just pandering to me. Like, don't just show you care, like say you care, show you care through action. If you want to protect the
Mhm.
dolls, girl, protect the dolls. There's this creator. Where is it? I have to find their name, but they've been doing videos like hello doll check in, doll check in, doll check in. Are you protected? Are you safe? No, you're not. Okay, cool. And I'm like, oh my god, it's so real. Like
Right.
she protect the dolls. Protect the dolls. Check in, check in. We're not protected. And I'm like, girl, for real. Like no one is. Y'all gotta do more than this, and you have to. And lovingly, y'all, you have to want more for. Like, you have to want more than this. Like want more for
Joe
yourself.
is so fed up.
Want
She
more for
is
yourself.
fed up.
Want more for your trans siblings and
Right.
your
Right.
trans family. Like want more for them. Like I do not care if
Mhm.
you wear a shirt that's to protect the dolls. I care that you are the one that's at the protest. I care
Working
that
to
you're the one
protect
talking
them.
about protecting trans folks. I
Yep.
can like that's what I care about. You can do it naked, honestly, and
Mhm.
hopefully you might, but
It's
that
the new Black Lives Matter.
yeah,
Mhm.
yes,
It's the new Black
yes.
Lives Matter.
And I'm like, please don't pander it with a t-shirt. Like the t-shirt is cute and I love that, but if you're gonna wear that, do something about it too.
Mhm.
I love it.
Mhm.
I love it. I love that people are wearing it, and I want them to wear it because if they made my size, bitch, I have the shirt too. But you know what?
Right.
I do shit for my community.
Right. Right. And we show up.
I don't know it. I don't know if everybody else does.
Right.
Okay, and
Mhm.
I don't see. I haven't seen any of my trans community wearing that shirt
Right.
yet.
Right. Mhm.
Because they're like, "Girl, protect us." like
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
they're too worried about being attacked to worry about a t-shirt. Y'all,
Right. Right.
someone actually do what the shirt says, protect the dolls.
Yeah.
Otherwise, knock it off.
Or give the dolls money so they
Or
can
give them money.
protect themselves.
Or give money to organizations that are
Or
serving them.
right.
Give
That
money
are helping
to
them.
Madison Start House. Give money
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
Trans Health and Family Services.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Give money to the
Mhm.
organizations that are doing the work
Yes.
then.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And then and buy them t-shirts.
Yep. Or make sure that they have food to go along with the t-shirts,
Okay?
honey. Yeah, because a lot of the dolls aren't a lot of the dogs, they can't be safe because they don't have what they need to be safe, and that's something that I will keep screaming from the high heavens that
Like,
I
y'all think you ate with a t-shirt, but the dolls are starving.
it, it,
The
it's
dolls are
cute in
starving.
theory. It's cute in theory, but the reality is that you are a rich person wearing a shirt that says protect a certain class of people who are not rich, and I think that's the thing that for me I don't want to use because I know and excuse me for anybody like I know tone deaf is problematic, so I don't want to say that, but I would whatever the alternative to that is, right? It's very, I guess the best way to say is half-assed. It's very half-assed.
Because no, I haven't seen? I haven't
Yeah.
seen one person bring a doll with them to a premiere. Haven't seen one
Well,
person have a doll next to them.
mm-hmm.
Where the dolls go that
That
you trying to
you're
trying to protect?
protecting. Yeah, yeah.
Bring them on stage with you, girl.
Joe's like, make it make sense. If I back it up,
God.
is it fat enough? Yes, like, like make it make sense, girl. Watch me throw it back. Like what? Make it make sense. Like that's literally like she literally Cookie was asking all the right questions in that song. Like that is literally what it's giving, right? Like what are you doing? Like it's just it's absolutely you know, I'm looking at the time and I'm going, I could go on for
We gotta wrap up. We
hours.
gotta wrap up.
I know we got to wrap
We
up, but I
have
could go
Kiki
on
too
for
much on this one
hours
today.
about just yeah, that's what happens when it's just us on the mic. Is we literally just be having fun and kikiing. But yes, protect the dolls. Also, please just stop doing that. Like just do something. Stop talking about it. Just
Yeah.
do something, please. That's literally where my heart is. All right, y'all. With that being said, please send your thoughts, feedback, and email to blackfatfempod@gmail.com. You can also send us your thoughts via social media by interacting with our post on Instagram and this is still child. Let me see. And Blue Sky, honey. We don't go to that website no more. Let me
This
edit
temple is so
that.
old. We got two iterations behind.
Girl. No, child. We don't go to that website no more. So follow us on Instagram, Blue Sky, and the Clock app, which is TikTok. At the handle Black Fat Femme Pod. Queen Joho, where can the dolls find you?
Of course, y'all can find me at Joe Daniels yapping across all socials.
I love that Yap is a new thing.
Oh, I love it's so much fun. It's cute. I
Mm-hmm.
love that people say it now because I'm like, oh, like when people say it younger, you're like, oh, yapping sounds so old, but now y'all love to yap. But I love yapping as well too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can
Mm-hmm.
find me at my website, yapping at jordan.com. If not, there you'll find me making sure my fringe is in check. The sweet
Amen.
honey hoedown I'm about to go on this week. I'm about to get my yee and my ha on.
How you doing? So by the time y'all hear this, we have been to the Cowboy Carter show, and
Oh, you're
we will
right.
come
You're
back
right.
to
So
y'all with
yeah,
notes.
my fringe is already in check, baby girl. I
Yes.
still need to find some chaps. I need some
Mm-hmm.
chaps. I need to find some
You know what? Have you seen? There's a girl who's going viral on Instagram for what she wore to Coachella, or for no. What's the other one? What's the other
stagecoach.
Stagecoach? She wore something this past week in a Stagecoach, and it's going viral because she looked so good. And
Mm.
I was thinking, I was like, if I had the body, I would probably try to pull something like that for Beyonce show. But here we are. I'm gonna be in some jeans and a cut off what do you call that? Like a vest kind of situation because that's all
Period.
she gonna get out
Period.
of me because I'm tired. But with that being said, as for me, you can find details about me and where I am in this country at www.drjohnpaul.com. Please buy my book. Go to my website. You can purchase the book there. You can also purchase it at Barnes and Noble. You can purchase it at Wiley. You can purchase it anywhere where books are sold. And then yeah, keep buying the books, run it up, and yeah, follow me at Dr. John Paul all over social. With that being said, we want to thank our producer Bei Wang for handling all of the logistics that come with the show, and everyone over at iHeartMedia for keeping the show up and running. We'd also like to shout out our wonderful editor Chris Roger because without him, we'd have no audio, no visuals. Down to the tubes of you. Yes, we wouldn't have it. Yeah, and go watch. I see people commenting and I see y'all leaving notes and stuff. It's nice. It's real nice. Maybe one day I may peruse and pull some of those and we just talk about some of the notes y'all leaving. But I love to see it. I love to know that y'all down there following us and loving what we do over there. But anyway, this has been another show. Stay black, fat, femme, and fabulous. And remember what, Joho?
We may not be your cup of tea, girl, but drink some water because you'll need it for the radio chitlin circuit. Okay.
Amen. Amen. Wherever she is going, you will need some water, honey, because you will be standing on your feet the entire 3 hours. Be safe. Protect yourself. I love us for real. Until next week. Bye.
Bye.